Alright, you guys, it's me, Warhide. What's going on? I'm finishing up my breakfast here. Had some yellow watermelon. This is a little juicy, and this is the last one. It broke, but it's fucking delicious. Alright, so today I wanted to talk to you about the conversation we had in Freeform Locks yesterday. And it was a good conversation. It was about freeing the nipple. And as I thought, most women were pretty anti-freeing the nipple. A lot of men were actually anti-freeing the nipple. But on the other side, excuse me, I think it was pretty 50-50. Honestly, like there's like two women who were totally anti-freeing the nipple, two men who were totally anti-freeing the nipple, and then like two women who were pro-nipple, two men who were like anti-nipple, and then I'm just there kind of in the middle, but I'm kind of more towards anti-nipple. Like, I don't really give a fuck. Personally, if you are in the group, by the way, join the group. If you haven't seen it, I don't even know if the topic's still there, but if this is a topic that you enjoy talking about, feel free. Okay? Feel free to talk about whatever you want to. Okay? Freeform Locks is about the human, not the hair. Okay? So, my point of view on the whole situation was, of course, it's not the best situation. Like, there's a reason that women aren't freeing their nipples. And I feel like they aren't freeing their nipples because they are afraid of the greater risk they could ensue from like being raped, being sexually harassed, I don't know, being truly sexualized. Like I don't think a lot of women really understand that well, one, we're the product of sexualization. Like we are the product of that. Like at the end of the day, we're coming towards the end of sexualization, which is what one side was saying. They're like, well, we've already lost a ton of modesty and we've already lost a ton of this because of the feminists. And a lot of people don't realize that modesty was actually more of our culture, like true modesty. Like we didn't have sexualization of women like that because it was seen as savage behavior. I mean, I'm not gonna say if you look into the Moors, they did sexualize the fuck out of some women. They were Muslims and they did sexualize the fuck out of some their harems of European women and things like that. But again, that's the past. A lot of people don't want to take credit for that side either, but it's whatever. It's this is just culture. Like it's culture. Men and women are actually very modest creatures. We don't enjoy showing off our bodies like that. Some people do. So a lot of those people actually form communities where they can freely and openly express themselves without fear of someone else trying to sexualize them within their community. Now, that's my whole point. Is like, along with the risks and stuff like that, I'm so down. If you want to free your nipples, I'm so down for you going to a state, getting a group of people together, going to a state where it's legal, getting a group of people together who are down for showing the tatas and stuff like that, who are really okay with it. Because a lot of us forget that men also get sexualized. Like, it's not just a one-sided thing. Women are not the only sexual creatures. Like, women be sexualizing men and pretending like that's okay. Like, it's okay, he's a man. He's not like us. It's not the same. Like, that's my biggest issue with feminism. They take stuff that affects both genders and they make it seem as if it's just the women, the victims, the perpetual victims, of course. And it sucks because there's always the so-called black feminists who get the double victimhood going down. Like, let me not get into that. That's another video. But it's more like, for me, I should say, because I don't really believe that women are going to get raped. I really hope they don't. If they share showing their nipples, I really hope they don't. But I really believe that you should be prepared. Okay, if you're gonna do something that you innately feel, because a lot of women innately feel as if they're gonna put themselves at risk by doing this. It's just what they feel. That's why we don't do it. That's why it's legal in 47 states and we don't do it. Like alcohol is legal. People don't have an issue getting drunk, but they have an issue showing their nipples. Okay, like, and getting drunk can kill your liver, kill you. But that's just an issue I have. I'm saying women just don't really want that. They're not really about showing their nipples. They don't really want to do it. Like, I'm all down for desexualizing the titties, but there's steps you have to take that involve desexualization from both sides. both sides, okay? And that takes time. And usually it depends on if your culture even wants to do that. If anything, your best bet is to always separate yourself. Always detach. Always. Like, I don't know why people are so afraid of detaching and starting their own stuff and doing their own thing and following their own beliefs. Like, that is always your best bet in every situation. Okay, even when it goes down to, because I didn't agree with the other side when they try to make it into like a racist thing, like, oh, this is racist and they're doing this and they're doing that, and I'm like, I didn't really take it as that. I was like, this is more of a personal choice. This is like in the reality. This is not racist. It's like when people talk about racism, but they live with brown people that they would consider racist, or they work for racists. Like, you don't have to do that. No one's forcing you to do any of this. You can always go somewhere where it's free to live. There are places. There are places where it's free to live. You can get a tent. You can go learn how to forage. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But what people are afraid to say is, I enjoy my privileges here. I enjoy the comfort that I have here. I enjoy this. Okay? I don't want to give this up. But I would prefer to have this as well. And you can't have that. Okay? It's like when someone gives you. You can't always be like, well, okay, yeah, I know you give me all of this, but I really want this. I know I want this though. Like, I know you give me a lot. And I could leave. I could leave anytime, whatever. I can do whatever I want. But I want this. And if you don't give me this, I'm gonna cry. I will cry. Okay? I will beg you to give me this instead of doing it myself. And that's how I feel. I'm not really pro begging people for their things. Like, even when I do it, I feel some kind of way about it. That's a whole other video. I'll do another video on that as well. So it's like, I kind of get what they're saying on the other side, who are like pro freeing the nipple, who are like, oh, I don't want to be sexualized or freeing my nipple. And it's like, but you have to realize that everyone gets sexualized. You know, like, that's my biggest issue with that side, because it is legal. It is legal to free your nipples. 47 states, it's legal. I'll put the link below. And I would say, don't go against your better judgment. Like, you know how you feel. You know what makes you comfortable. You know what doesn't make you comfortable. If you feel like it's going to make you more comfortable to free your nipple, do that. I would say, if you're going to be freeing some nipples, then son, you better have some. You should always learn some self-defense skills, okay? Because we are physically weaker than most men, most savages, men and women. We're usually physically weaker than savages. So we should probably have some form of self-defense, including men. Because men free their nipples all the time, and right now they're kind of leading in the rape statistics. Like, they just started even caring about men getting raped recently, like 30 years ago. So no one really even knows the real statistics for men being raped. And they free their nipples all day. And they have the highest suicide rate, freeing their nipples. So, I mean, I'm saying there are bigger issues. Like, at the end of the day, you have to see what you do. And then you'll see how the rest of the world is really feeling. Like, if you won't free your nipples because you don't feel safe, I understand. If you don't want to feel your nipples because you don't want to be sexualized, I understand. But you also have to see that that's what that comes with. Like, in this culture, this is a culture. This isn't like, oh, someone forced me to do this. Like, rapists aren't even a part of our culture. We hate rapists, but rape still happens here. We hate them. But we understand we have savages here. Like, so don't be stupid. Don't get into this idealized liberal thinking that, well, if the government just changed these laws, and if they would just do this, then more people would do it, and they're holding us down. And it's like, you're just making yourself into a victim. That's it. Instead of realizing that it's really all within yourself. Like, you have the issues with freeing your nipple. It's legal. Okay? You can sue people if they arrest you. Again, don't fuck with the police when it comes to that type of shit. Go through the process, bail yourself out, deal with it in court. If you do get arrested for freeing your nipples. Like, that's just a reality. But I'm saying, like, why would you want to... Why? Like, most women don't even want to free their nipples. That's the reality. Most women don't. And if they want to, they have the legal right. That's my main point. I think that's it.
But Dr. Laird, can people do anything to avoid tension?